Without a doubt, one of the most quintessential prophecies in the Bible that deals with the second Exodus is found in Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 11 through 14, in the NET translation. I will place my breath in you, and you will live. I will give you rest in your own land. Then you will know that I am the Lord. I have spoken, and I will act, declares the Lord. This event speaks about Ezekiel's famous Valley of Dry Bones prophecy. The Lord takes Ezekiel out in the spirit to the mysterious valley and Ezekiel finds it full of dry bones. And all the man of God is told of the origin of these bones is that they are the whole house of Israel. And these bones speak. They say, our bones are dried up, and our hope has perished. We are cut off. The question is, why is a valley full of dry bones considered in biblical prophecy the whole house of Israel? We know who the Jews are today, as of this writing. They are sitting in the Holy Land. So who are these bones representing? The whole house. And why are they saying, our bones are dried up, and our hope has perished? We are cut off. The Jews in the Holy Land have flesh and blood. These bones do not. Who in biblical prophecy held the prophetical name of the house of Israel? The Jews in biblical prophecy was always called either the house of Jacob or the house of Judah, but never the house of Israel. An example is found in Isaiah chapter 14. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Why all of this bouncing around? Can't heaven keep it straight what their name is and who they are talking to? It makes perfect sense when you realize heaven is speaking to two different groups of people. One is the Jews, which is the house of Jacob. The other is the non-Jewish 10 tribes, which is the house of Israel. Without this understanding, you can never achieve a working knowledge of biblical prophecy, which one must have to successfully thread the needle through the 7-year Great Tribulation. The only portion of the Hebrews that was ever called Jews were the descendants of Jacob's son Judah. That is why the Bible does not ever say the Lord brought the Jews out of Egypt. They are always referred to as Hebrews or the nation of Israel, but never the Jews. The Jews were brought out of Egypt, but only within their tribal name of Judah. This is better understood in the dividing of Solomon's kingdom under his son Rehoboam. In 1 Kings, verses 1 through 11, David's son ruled the southern kingdom of Judah, a Jewish kingdom of one tribe. Because David, Solomon, and Rehoboam were of the tribe of Judah. And the northern kingdom, called the kingdom of Israel, was ruled by Jeroboam, a non-Jewish kingdom of 10 tribes. The tribes of Levites were scattered over all 11 tribes. They were the 12th tribe. To make this matter more interesting, the 10 tribes of the northern kingdom was divorced by God in Jeremiah chapter 3, verses 8 through 11. I gave faithless Israel her certificate of divorce and sent her away in the Assyrian diaspora because of her adulteries. But the Lord never divorces the house of Judah. Hosea 1, chapter 1, verse 7. Although he later sends her away, first in the Babylonian exile in 586 BC, and then in the Roman diaspora, 70 AD. The Lord promises Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 18, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north, to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. This verse in Jeremiah refers to the second Exodus. When you get the 2 houses straight in your head, the biblical prophecy will begin to open up to you. Not knowing this, biblical prophecy will always remain closed to you. So, returning back to the title of the breath that travels through time. In Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 11 through 14, in the NET translation, I will place my breath in you, and you will live. I will give you rest in your own land. Then you will know that I am the Lord. I have spoken, and I will act, declares the Lord. The prophetical questions would be, when in time was this breath given? And when will the whole house of Israel, which is not Jewish, receive life again? What prophetical event promised brings these people back to the Holy Land? When these 3 questions are answered, we will understand biblical mysteries hidden that only the last generation will witness and experience. I will answer these questions briefly here, and with greater detail I have covered them in my series, The Voice of the Prophets, found in the links below. The breath was given in John 20th chapter, verses 21 and 22 in the NET translation. So Jesus said to them again, "Peace to you. As the Father has sent me, I also send you." And when he had said this, he breathed on them and said to them, "Receive the Holy Spirit." The timing of the return is worked out. 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 3 and 5, King James Version. And Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke, which he put upon us, lighter, and we will serve thee. And he said unto them, Depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. This event took place 3,000 years ago. The return of the 10 tribes again unto the house of David shall happen within our lifetime. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, New King James Version. But, beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. Hosea chapter 6, verse 2, in the ERV translation. After 2 days, which are 2,000 years, will he revive us. And on the 3rd day, this comes within our lifetime, he will raise us up, and we shall live before him. This live before him shall take place in the Holy Land after the current state of Israel is destroyed. The prophetic event that brings all the tribes to the Holy Land. All the biblical prophets speak of this event, but here we shall let Isaiah tell us. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 12 and 13, King James translation. He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. He will collect the scattered of Judah from the 4 corners of the earth. Then the jealousy of Ephraim will depart, and the adversaries of Judah will be cut off. Ephraim will no longer envy Judah, nor will Judah harass Ephraim. Jeremiah explains to us, chapter 23, verses 7 and 8, King James Version. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, The Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Jeremiah prophesied this 1,107 years after the first Exodus. So it cannot be speaking of the first Exodus. This prophetical event that all the ancient prophets spoke of is what we call the second Exodus, which is yet to happen, but soon will.